Welcome to Music for JSS 2. Today we study Nigerian musical instruments, their classification and their cultural role in Nigerian society. Classification of musical instruments. Musicologists, scholars who study music, have developed a system for classifying all the world's musical instruments into categories based on how they produce sound. The most widely used classification system is the Humber-Stosak system, developed in 1914. The four main categories are 1. Chordophones, string instruments that produce sound through vibrating strings. Examples: guitar, violin, piano, strings struck by hammers, kora, West African harp lute with 21 strings. Nigerian chordophones, molo, Hausa lute, goj, Hausa bowed fiddle, kontigi, smaller lute, kora, common in the Monde tradition across West Africa including parts of Nigeria. 2. Aerophones, wind instruments that produce sound through vibrating air. Subcategories: woodwind, or flutes plus reeds, and brass, cup mouthpiece. Nigerian aerophones, kokoki, Hausa long ceremonial trumpet, over 3 meters long, announces royalty, forai, Hausa trumpet, agaita, Hausa oboe-like double reed instrument, similar to the Middle Eastern zana, shantu/shankwi, or flute, ofiola, Igbo flute, air, Yoruba flute. Modern Nigerian music uses Western brass and woodwind instruments in bands, highlife orchestras, and Afrobeats productions. 3. MEMBRNOPHONES, drum instruments that produce sound through vibrating membranes, skins/heads stretched over a frame or body. Drums are the most fundamental instruments in Nigerian music. Nigerian membranophones, dondon, a Yoruba talking drum, an hourglass-shaped pressure drum. The head tension is controlled by squeezing cords along the side. Changing tension changes pitch. This allows the drum to talk or mimic the tonal patterns of the Yoruba language. Bata, Yoruba, a set of drums used in Orisha worship, particularly Sango, different sizes for different pitches. Gongon, small Yoruba tension drum. Aya ilu, mother drum, the lead dondon. Gudugudu, Yoruba, small cylindrical drum. Igba, Yoruba pair of drums. Ojin or Igba Aqua, Igbo drums. Kolango, Hausa double-headed hourglass drum, similar to dondon. Toma, Hausa small tension drum. Gaya, Hausa cylindrical drum. 4. Idiaphones, self-sounding instruments that produce sound through the vibration of the instrument itself, no string, membrane, or air column needed. The body of the instrument hires the sound-producing medium. Nigerian idiaphones, shakir, Yoruba, dried gourd enclosed in a net of beads or shells, shaken and struck to produce rhythmic patterns. Egoago, Yoruba, iron double or single bell struck with a metal rod, used in juju music and traditional ceremonies. The word egoago means bell in Yoruba. Gong/ojin, Igbo, iron gong struck with a wooden beater, used in Igbo traditional music and ceremonies. Ojin oni, large Igbo gong, ekwi, a Igbo slit drum, carved from wood with a slit cut in the top, struck to produce 2 pitches. Slit drum, various Nigerian cultures, cylindrical log with slit, played with sticks. Udu, Igbo clay pot drum, double-chambered clay vessel struck with the hand, a unique idiaphones that also has some membranophone qualities. Maraca/gourd rattles, various forms across Nigeria. Xylophone-like instruments, akpota, amadinda, various percussion bar instruments across Nigeria. 5. Electrophones, electronic instruments that produce sound through electronic means. Not a traditional category in Nigerian music but increasingly important in contemporary Afrobeats production. Electric guitars, synthesizers, drum machines, electronic keyboards, samplers. Cultural role of Nigerian musical instruments. The Yoruba dondon, talking drum. The dondon is one of the most remarkable musical instruments in the world. It is an hourglass-shaped drum with 2 heads connected by leather cords. The player can squeeze the cords under their arm to tighten the drum head, which raises the pitch. By varying this tension while striking the drum with a curved beater, the player can produce a wide range of pitches, enough to mimic the tonal patterns of the Yoruba language. A skilled dondon player can say full sentences in drum language. The don-don was historically used for long-distance communication, drumming messages from village to village, for royal communication, announcing the Oba's movements, and for religious ceremonies. The Aya Elu, mother drum, is the lead drum that speaks while other drums in the ensemble provide rhythmic accompaniment. The Bata drums. The Bata are a set of 3 double-headed drums used in Yoruba religious music, particularly in the worship of Sango, god of thunder and lightning, and other orishas. They are sacred instruments. Different Bata drums have different sizes and play different rhythmic roles. The Bata tradition was taken to Cuba by enslaved Yoruba people and continues to be played there today in Lukumi/Santeria religious music, showing the deep cultural connections between West Africa and the African diaspora in the Americas. The Kokoki. The Kokoki is an extraordinarily long brass trumpet, over 3 meters, associated with Hausa Fulani royalty in northern Nigeria. It has been used at the courts of Hausa emirs for centuries. Kokoki are played in pairs at royal ceremonies, state occasions, and the Salah Eid Daba, the spectacular horse parade performed before the Amir following the end of Ramadan. Remember, musical instruments classified by how they produce sound, or Humbuster Sax System 1914. For main categories, cordiphones, vibrating strings, guitar plus violin plus piano, Nigerian, molo plus gauge fiddle plus kora, plus aerophones, vibrating air, wind instruments, Nigerian, Kokoki equals Hausa long ceremonial trumpet 3 meters equals announces royalty, plus agaita equals Hausa double reed oboe-like plus shantu flute plus ofiola Igbo flute plus air Yoruba flute, plus membranophons, vibrating membrane/skins equals drums, Nigerian, Dondan equals Yoruba talking drum, hourglass plus pressure chords squeezed equals changes pitch equals talks in Yoruba tonal patterns, Aya Ilu equals lead drum. Historically equals long-distance communication plus royal announcements plus religious ceremonies, plus Bata equals Yoruba religious drums equals Sango worship equals taken to Cuba by enslaved Yoruba equals still played in Lukumi/Santeria, plus Kolango equals Hausa tension drum plus Gaya equals Hausa cylindrical drum, plus idiophones, instrument itself vibrates equals self-sounding, Nigerian, Shakia equals Yoruba dried gourd plus beadnet, Egoago equals Yoruba iron bell, word means bell in Yoruba, plus Ojin equals Igbo iron gong plus Ikewe equals Igbo slit drum equals carved wood plus slit equals 2 pitches, plus Udu equals Igbo clay pot drum, plus electrophones, electronic, modern Afrobeats, electric guitar plus synth plus drum machine. Cultural roles, Don equals talking messages plus royal communication plus religious. Bata equals Orisha worship, Sango. Kokoki equals Hausa royal ceremonies plus Salah Daba. Thank you for studying music with us today.